friends! Today I'm here to talk about the Passenger Duology by Alexandra Bracken. This is composed of Passenger and there's also Wayfarer. And this series is basically a story that tells of time travel and family and romance and friendship and adventure and all of that good stuff. Anyway, I'm really excited about today because I'm going to be bringing you an A to Z of the things that I love most about the Passenger Duology and why you should be reading it too. A is for artifacts, and there's actually a particular artifact that all of the time-traveling people are in search of, and that's actually a big catalyst for Edda's own particular journey. B is for butterfly effect, because that is definitely something that is important to consider if you're time traveling, because what you do can cause a ripple effect in the future and even maybe in the future of other people. C is for characters, and I absolutely love the characters and the characterization that Alex employs in her book. She makes them so complex, so interesting, and so real, and they completely pop off the page, and you just love them or hate them depending on who they are in the story. D is for diversity, because Alex includes lots of different cultures and histories and people and genders and sexualities in her story, and I really like that a lot about it, actually. E is for Edda Spencer, who is the main character. Her original timeline is in modern-day New York City, and she is a violinist. She's also incredibly smart and incredibly brave when faced with really difficult circumstances, and I especially love how sassy she gets throughout the story. F, on the other hand, which is about to come up, is for family, and that is something that's extremely important to Edda and is actually a very big part of her own growth and story. It's also a very big part of the story itself because there are different families and there are lots of questions about who you're loyal to and which family you belong to. G is for good versus bad, although I would like to say that in this story you actually realize that everyone is kind of in a gray area because you have to look at their motives from different angles, so that is a very interesting thing. H, on the other hand, is for history, which is definitely a big part of this story because Edda and Nicholas travel through time and go into different places, and you get to learn a little bit about the different historical facts about those places. I is for intolerance, and Edda sees a lot of that happening for Nicholas as they travel through time together, and it's also something she doesn't stand for personally. J is for journey. Oops, I dropped my pen there, because that is basically what they make, and plus that quote on the left-hand side is actually a quote from the first book. The journey is what it's all about, really. K is for knowledge. The more they travel and the more they meet people, the more Edda and Nicholas both learn about traveling, timelines, different locations, different people's motives. It's very, very, very interesting. Plus the reader learns more about the different locales too. Speaking of locations, that's actually the L word that I was going to use because we travel to so many different places and time periods, and it's so darn interesting. M, on the other hand, is for music, and that's a very important part of the story because Edda is a violinist, and music is also a way for you to find and travel through passages. N is for Nicholas Carter, who is the other main character. He is basically forced to do things against his will at first, but then slowly learns to find his own way, and he makes decisions for himself, which is really cool. Plus, I just love him because he's so good through and through. O is for one for many, or sacrifice, and sacrifice is a major theme, especially in the second book. It is touched upon in the first, but mostly in the second, and you'll see why. P is for paradoxes, which is also touched in the second book more than the first, but it's definitely something to think about if you're traveling through time, that's for sure. Q, on the other hand, is for questions, and there are a lot of them when you're reading this series, especially about time travel and who is good and who is bad. It can get really crazy in there. R is for romance, and even though it's emphasized more in the first book, I definitely love the romance in this one, and I totally shipped that ship. I was on board that ship. S is for side story potential, and I wanted to mention this because I absolutely love some of the secondary characters, especially in the second book, and I could definitely see there being a spin-off novella or series. T, on the other hand, is obviously going to be for time travel because who doesn't want to read about time travel? It's so cool that Edda and Nicholas get to travel through time, and I also really enjoyed Alex's take on it and her different rules and the ways it works. U is for unexpected turns, because there are definitely a lot of them in this story. I honestly did not know where it was going every time I just let Alex lead me with her words. V is for visual storytelling. I could totally picture the places that they were in and the feelings that they were having. I could feel them so incredibly deeply. And I also really liked the little details that Alex added, like their clothes and the things around them. W is for wit and humor because, oh my goodness, especially in the second book, there was so much sass and sarcasm, and it totally appealed to my sense of humor, and I loved it. X is going to be a little bit of a cheat, and it's for excitement galore because there was honestly not a moment that I was ever bored because it was such a fun journey to be on. It felt like such a grand adventure in both books, and I think that's really great. Y is for yo ho ho pirates. This is more applicable to the first book, but yeah, there are pirates. And Z, the last letter, is for zeal because a lot of the characters are motivated by their own zealous feelings. There you have it, guys. Those are some of the things I love most about Passenger and Wayfarer, and obviously I think you should read them now. I'll see you guys soon with another video. See ya!